how big of a setback is it, or disappointment for downtown St. Paul that Macy's is leaving?
Well, I would never say that I wouldn't prefer to have Macy's stay open. I mean, there's no question that I would rather have a downtown with Macy's than a downtown without Macy's. But on the other hand, I think that this has been coming for a long time. The St. Paul of the 1930s, or 40s or 50s is very different than the St. Paul of today, where people shop, how they interact. Those are all very different. And so, we think that we've done a great transition from kind of the 20th century downtown St. Paul to a 21st century downtown. Macy's didn't feel like they fit into that future, and so we'll move on and go to it in a different direction.
Yeah. Are you? Well, let's just feel here in the room. Are you actively kind of courting a Target or a Kohl's or supermarket?
We're not precluding that conversation. But the reality is, we've had previous conversations with some of those businesses that required or wanted a fairly significant subsidy. That's not something I'm prepared to entertain. If there was an interest in a private retail outfit like that coming into downtown St. Paul that wasn't looking for a large subsidy to do that, I'd certainly be willing to have that conversation.
Okay. So basically, subsidy is out.
Well, it depends on how you define that. There are certain things that, I know that in 2001, part of the deal was asbestos removal and help with that for then Target/Dayton's. Is there some environmental remediation? Is there some things, we could look at those and maybe some other small things that we could do, but we have no interest in buying, a private company coming in where they might not otherwise come in.
It's a tough site. Matt Kramer, I think, was quoted in a paper today saying there's no windows, kind of where there should be windows in kind of the modern thinking of retail. What's the possibility of just tearing it down and starting something else there?
Well, separate the site from the current structure that's on there. The current structure, quite frankly, has been, it's not attractive, it's not historic, it's not conducive to how people, kind of view 21st century retail or any of those things. And so, I would think that if a retailer was going to come into that space, it would take extensive remodeling in order to make that successful. I don't know that for sure, but that would be my guess. But we also think that if you look at it, the site itself, I think it's one of the most attractive development opportunities in the Twin Cities. You have a light rail stop directly in front of the building. You have a downtown that is kind of resurgent with housing and various levels of retail like Heine's Haberdashery, great restaurants like Meritage or Heartland. The great music scene that's going on now. All of those pieces are coming together, I think, to shape a very different future for downtown St. Paul in the coming decades.
Okay. And then as far as, do you know the square footage by any chance? I was kind of... that's something
I think in that release from Macy's, they listed the square footage, but it's like 385,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
362,000. Opened in 1963.
That was a rounding error.
Yeah, I think there's at least one floor that's empty now. I mean, I'm wondering if that could
probably more so.
Yeah, if that could be a series of different shops or
you can, but I just think if and again, I'm not going to preclude anything, but if you again look at what's been successful in downtown. What's been successful is Heine's Haberdashery, a specialty clothing store with great levels of service. Quite frankly, I think everything I'm wearing is from Heine's right now. It's a destination retail environment. It's got to be something that you're not going to find in any shopping malls in the suburban community or any other community across the country. And so, I don't think they're looking for 100,000 square foot floor plates or those types of things. There's a possibility that a Target or a Kohl's or somebody, Herberger's or somebody like that might want to be interested, look at reusing the building. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, as we look at the changing nature of downtown, we think more likely it's going to be entertainment, specialty retail, or office space to complement all the other things that we have going on.
Okay. But you have spoken with Target then?
No.
Okay.
No, if you look, there was some discussions with Target prior to my administration about going on to Seven Corners that didn't materialize. But that was also, Target's different than they used to be in terms of the kind of downtown spaces that they're using. So We think, the demand for the right stores down here, I think, is very strong. I think that's what Lund's found out when they did a demand study prior to their, to their decision to open up down here. It's been very, very positive.
That's about it out of me. It's obviously people keep pointing out this $6.3 million figure back from 2001. If I'm doing my math right, that's more than $500,000 a year to keep a store here that eventually left. It sounds like you're not interested in repeating that kind of partnership or structure.
Well, I think look at why we did what we did in 2001, and I was on the council at the time and really led the charge for that.
Really?
We felt that downtown was in a very transitional phase. We were starting to see the benefits of some of the housing that we were creating down here, but we haven't seen the full benefits of that. We're starting to see some kind of new shops and restaurants opening, but just kind of on the beginning of that, we saw Paz Luna opening up to complement what was happening at the St. Paul Grill. Kincaid's, I don't know if that had even opened up yet, and the retail in Lawson, and some of those things were just, either still in the drawing stages or hadn't really even conceived yet. And so it was an important transition for us for these last 10 years to be able to hold on to a Dayton's, Marshall Field's, Macy's. But at this point, I think that we've made the public investment in light rail, the Union Depot, and some of the other infrastructure pieces that we've had, including the regional ballpark.
Right.
We think that the private market is now sufficiently buoyed by what's happening in downtown St. Paul to see that, the value of that investment.
They can do it on their own.
I think, that, again, this is, we realized that there were, 100, 150 employees in the store, and we know that anytime you go through a transition like this is difficult. We hope that they either land in a new place or are able to take some kind of incentive to retire early, whatever it might be. But we're not unmindful of the fact that was also, in addition to being a retail store, the site of 150 people's livelihoods. And so, but we think that the opportunities are strong and lie ahead for St. Paul and for that site.
Yeah. And I think there was some talk about trying to find other stores for them to work in. Probably not everybody, though.
Yeah, right. I don't know that all the details of who was there and whatever, but I think that they stressed in their press release that they were going to try to find, or at least their discussions with us that they were going to try to find opportunities for other people or for people in other places.